And my sister at the beach, and we're going to see how tan you can get.
Tonight, as record heat roasts America, more and more young people are baking in that peak summer sun.
BB's 10.
In the name of a viral trend, tanmaxxing or sunmaxxing. The general goal, to spend hours in the sun with little to no sunscreen, even tracking the UV index to catch the strongest rays to build the darkest, most even tan possible. Dramatic tan lines, often seen as a bronzed badge of honor.
Would you consider yourself a tan maxer?
Oh, for sure.
Florida-based content creator Sasha Nicole Smith says she tans daily.
I don't personally use sunscreen, but I know my skin type very well. But I would do it in very small doses and in moderation.
Is the goal like a deep, dark tan?
Yes, always. Me and my friends and other people that I know, we just feel and look better when we're tan.
Do you worry about skin cancer down the line?
I do. I think if I was a lot fairer or if I was more prone to burning, I would be a little bit more concerned.
But for dermatologists, alarms about the glowing trend are growing louder.
Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how much does this trend of tan maxing alarm you as a dermatologist?
It's definitely a 10. Sun is a silent killer.
Dr. Michelle Henry says young people addicted to tanmaxxing come into her office repeating misinformation, like
One of my patients described a base tan as being as safe as sunscreen, and that's really incorrect.
another myth, she says.
We have zero evidence that sunscreen causes cancer.
Melanoma rates have been on the rise for decades, with an estimated 112,000 new cases expected this year, according to the National Cancer Institute. But denial about the danger is nothing new. Case in point, this NBC News piece from more than 30 years ago.
I guess I run a risk of getting skin cancer, but I like the beach and I like being in the sun.
Now, a new generation is obsessed with being bronze.
When these trends become popular and it becomes a part of the culture, it's very difficult to weave that out of the fabric of that generation.
Maggie joins us now. So, Maggie, it's sort of interesting, right? Because this generation, and we've reported this on Top Story, is so into skincare and taking care of their complexion, yet tanning is so damaging. So why is there a disconnect?
Yeah, Tom, doctors talked about this dichotomy as well. And they say, in short, young people, and we talked about this in the piece, have been fed a lot of misinformation about the benefits of tanning versus the risks. Same story on sunscreen. Dr. Henry, you saw, talked about that. And they're also getting a lot of immediate validation for how good, and a lot of people say how healthy they look with a tan on social media. While at the same time, the risks of skin cancer and long-term damage from the sun, those are decades away. And young people not being worried about their health way down the line like that, that is, of course, a tale as old as time. Tom.
Okay, Maggie Vespa, thank you for that one. We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.